In this video, I'll talk about how many currency pairs there are in the Forex markets and talk about some of the top currencies. Now, one of the things that new traders like to talk about in the Forex market is the plethora, the absolute massive amount of currencies there are to trade. Really kind of comes down to your broker. In general, it's pretty common to see 27 pairs, but there are 180 currencies. So in theory, you could trade your currency, maybe the US dollar, against 179 other ones. Now, obviously, you don't have to trade your own currency. That could be the euro or the Swiss franc or whatever. That doesn't mean that all pairs are equal. So, for example, here is the euro Norwegian kroner. 22 pip difference. That means between the bid and the ask, you need the market to move 22, in this case 0.9, to cover the spread, to break even. Contrast that with the US dollar, Canadian dollar, which is 0.8. So it doesn't need to move much. That's a much thicker currency pair. So who are the big currencies? Well, the US dollar, hands down, is the biggest, followed by the euro, British pound, Japanese yen, Aussie dollar. Those are the five biggest ones. However, you're also looking at, as far as majors are concerned, there is the Canadian dollar, and there's a little debate whether or not New Zealand dollar is a major or a minor currency. It's basically a major currency. It is traded well enough that you shouldn't have any issue. Now, you can mix these currencies together. All of the major pairs are the US dollar against something else. But you could just as easily trade like Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. The spread might be a little bit wider, but it's not outrageous. It's not something that can't be overcome. 1.3 pips is hardly difficult. It's not like the euro Noki, the euro against the Norwegian kroner. Again, like euro New Zealand dollar, 2.5 pips. So if you stick to either the major currencies or the ones of the major currencies crossed against each other, you generally don't have too many issues. US dollar, Mexican peso. Mexican peso is an exotic currency. This is 43.9 pips, and that's actually a pretty good spread. You see it much higher. US dollar, South African rand, 47.4. Again, that's actually pretty good. But as long as you stay with like the euro dollar, that's half a pip. And this happens to be one of the least liquid, least actively traded times of the day. I'm recording this right after the New York close. So that gives you an idea of how you can do much better trading the majors. And really, you have to keep in mind at the end of the day, you're just trying to make money. Don't get too cute and try to trade things like the Chilean peso against the South African rand. There are a handful of brokers out there that will allow that type of trading, but it's very difficult. Plenty of markets offer nice returns just based upon reasonable spreads.